Ayan, mic check. One, two, three. Can you guys type it out in the comment section if you can hear me clearly on your end? Siyempre, I just want to know if you can hear me clearly on your end. Baka pala hindi gumagana yung mic ko at the moment. Again, can you type it in the comment section if you can hear me clearly on your end, guys? Hello. Alright. So, yes po. Ayan, naririnig na daw ako ng mga tao. So, hello guys and welcome to another episode of Community Connect. So, actually guys, this is the first time that we will be having the full episode of Community Connect in the Virtual Champions PH Facebook page. So, please kindly share the live link to your friends, co-workers, family members, and everyone that you would like to join us for tonight. Again, this episode is for free. You don't have to sign up. You just need to go to the Facebook page and you can definitely watch this episode of Community Connect live. Again, guys, this is the first time that we will be having the full episode of Community Connect in the Virtual Champions PH Facebook page. So please kindly share the live link to your friends, coworkers, family members, and everyone that you would like to join us for tonight. And also, guys, while waiting for everyone to join in, can you comment or type it in our comment section where you are watching from and what you are most excited about this session? Grabe, no? Alam ko maraming excited for tonight's episode kahit ako eh. So, guys, again, sa mga nanonood dyan, where are you watching from right now? Sa lang namin malaman, malay mo. Alam ko we have potential viewers coming from different countries, not only the Philippines. Ayun, grabe yon. Kingdom of Pasig. Hello, good evening, Mr. Vinci Ross Villanueva. Oh, grabe. Sino kayo dyan? Good morning from the UK. Hello po. Good day. Kasi good evening na sa amin. So again, guys, if you have friends who wants to watch this episode, please do share the live link so they can also join us for tonight's episode of Community Connect. And true, ayaw talaga magpakabog ng mga taga-UK, Jarn. Sino ka, Jarn? O, di ba? Sa iba pa po, we have 5 viewers right now. San pa galing yung tatlo? Welcome po to sa tonight's episode of Community Connect. And yun guys, so we're just waiting for a couple of people to join in. Ayun no, grabe yun, Bicol. Good evening po, Miss Daryl Jean Cedinho. We have more people joining in for tonight's episode of Community Connect. So we'll just wait for others to join in. Excited na ba kayo guys sa episode? Oh, Bicolanja. Rar. Oh, ganon. Watching from Eastwood. Hello po, Miss Eloisa Mariano Cerrate. Grabe, yorn. Oh, layo-layo tayo dito mga pamilya. Ganyan. Invite pa po tayo ng ibang friends to watch in. Let's give it at least 2 minutes. We'll officially start at 7:05 because we're actually expecting more people to join in. Oh, Bulacan po, not Bulacant. Ang arte ko doon. Watching from Laguna. Hello, Miss Kate. Good evening po. We have Tommy Borleo Paladin. Good evening po. Yan. Let's wait for other people to join in. Okay, guys? Watching from Cagayan, Isabela. Yes, good evening po, Miss Shem Sanchez. And welcome to this episode of Community Connect. Again, guys, if you have other friends who wants to watch this live episode of Community Connect, please do share this live link to them so they can join us for tonight. And the good thing about this episode of Community Connect is that it's definitely for free. So we just have a minute to wait for a few people. And I know you're very much excited as I am for tonight's episode. Tama ba, guys? Excited na ba kayo? Kasi ako excited na ako sa episode for tonight. Sino ba namang hindi ma-excite, di ba? Napaka-juicy ng topic natin for tonight. And it's 7:05 p.m. Philippine time, and we have a very juicy topic for tonight. And I know we all share the same excitement and curiosity with this episode about freelancing misconceptions. So without further ado, let's get the ball rolling and start tonight's episode of Community Connect. This is gonna be Mythbusters dispelling freelancing misconceptions. So, guys, for tonight's program, let me give you a heads up of what to expect about tonight's episode. We have three segments tonight. Segment one is going to be common freelancing assumptions. Segment two is going to be the realities of freelancing. And segment three is going to be controversial takes on freelancing. Now, during each segment, we will provide some misconceptions that have been normally asked about by our peers or within the freelancing community. And a member of our expert panel will answer whether it's a fact or a myth. You can ask questions at the end of the segment. So if you have the chance, please do kindly inquire. Kindly type it in the comment section, and one of our expert panel will get back to you. All right. Again po, we have three segments for tonight. And kung may mga katanungan po kayo, we have another part of the segment, the fourth segment, where you can type in all the questions and our panels will definitely get back to you. So again, guys, I know this episode will definitely be full of surprises. So handa na ba kayo? Let me just introduce our panel of experts. So first off the bat, she has been a virtual assistant since 2021. She has worked with the most number of clients simultaneously among the virtual assistants team of Virtual Champions PH. Actually, she has been awarded as the customer darling of Virtual Champions PH last kickoff, and she is a free diving coach during her days off. So let's welcome one of our panel experts, Daryl Jean Cedinho. So, guys, let's click on the emojis on your screen to welcome her, di ba? Welcome, Da, for tonight's episode. And our second panel of experts has been a freelancer since 2020. From being an HR specialist in the corporate setting, she has progressed to an HR manager, a project manager, and now an operations manager. She is currently a consultant within Virtual Champions PH, so she's helping out with our operations and HR. Let's welcome Angelica Ocampo. Welcome, Ate Jel. And our last panel of expert is an entrepreneur, an operations manager, and a seasoned virtual assistant. She is a vetted consultant since 2021, a proud mama of four, a gamer, a musician, and a volleyball team captain. She is the founder of Virtual Champions PH. So let's welcome Miss Eloy Mariana Cerate. Hi, Ate Eloy. Welcome for tonight's episode of Virtual Champions Community Connect. So guys, alam ko excited na kayo for tonight's episode. So let's dive right in the first segment of our Community Connect. And that's gonna be common freelancing assumptions. So we have one question out here. So the first question for our episode is, actually it's not a question, it's a statement, sorry, my bad. So that is, freelancing is not a sustainable career. So let's ask one of our panel of experts, Ate Eloy, for you, is freelancing not a sustainable career?
Okay, so for me, iba-iba kasi tayo ng opinion eh. So yung ibang mga freelancers, for them, ang freelancing is unstable, uncertain. Also, if you're coming from a corporate background, medyo this is like treading uncharted waters. Pero for some like us, like me, I find it a very fulfilling career. So it's very sustainable for me. So it may be not be the opinion of others, no. So iba kasi yung galawan sa freelancing. So unlike employment, dito pwedeng project by project, pwedeng iba-ibang clients, pwedeng maraming clients at the same time, pwedeng fixed scope lang tapos move on to the next one. So iba yung galawan. But you need to understand kung gaano nag-evolve yung freelancing, especially dito sa Philippines. Kung sabihin mo, kung tatanungin mo ko about freelancing, 10, 20 years ago na halos wala tayong internet, wala tayong signal. Hindi talaga. Pero now, it was made possible na, especially during the pandemic, na talagang nakita natin yung katotohanan na freelancing is really real. It's happening. So, it's a wave that you have to ride or else mapag-iiwanan ka talaga. Sobrang laki ng growth and sobrang, I think, hindi ako economist pero it's para sa ekonomiya talagang meron siyang impact sa economy ng Philippines. What I hear from clients is they're raving about Filipino talent kasi okay yung education, magaling ang communication skills, okay ang work ethics. Kaya isa tayo sa mga top picks sa freelancing services. So when we're in a good position, so definitely it makes it na parang talagang maganda yung opportunity sa freelancing. Maraming opportunities, maraming pwedeng trabaho sa freelancing. Ang kailangan lang nating maintindihan is how to adapt dito sa bagong type of work na to. This is the future of work. We need to learn how to adapt kasi especially bago to, it's breaking the convention ng definition natin kung ano yung trabaho. It's not anymore, the four corners of your office. Ikaw na yung mag-manage sa sarili mo. You're like a business owner yourself. Hindi ka na lang basta direct report na nakadepende sa direction ng supervisor mo or ng company owner. And right now, just like our community, di ba? You will find support systems. Although nagsisimula pa lang siguro yung mga laws about freelancing. Pero if you want, you will actually find support system or communities where you can learn more and you can feel or get the support that you need sa freelancing world. So address natin may mga challenges of course if you choose freelancing as a career. Una, yung sustainability ng income. Pero if like with us, I can attest to it na kung sa corporate mag-start ka at a lower bracket ng income, sa freelancing hindi, mas mataas yung jump. Hindi mo kailangan maghintay ng 10, 15 years or mag 20 years sa isang company to get promoted. In 2 years, pwede kang mag-move on to a higher salary or a bigger role. So you can do that. And also, another challenge would be maybe yung benefits. That's the biggest change, di ba? Walang benefits unlike sa employment. Pero since you're earning way, way more than the conventional employment, you can actually afford to pay your own. So merong mga workaround dun sa differences. And professional development, for example, sa pag-empleyado ka, kunyari papatraining ka for free, here we're in information age na. So hindi na mo na kailangan mag-intay na ipadala for training. Manood ka lang ng YouTube, mag-apply, mag-enroll ka lang ng mga course. So you are in charge of your own professional growth. So really, it really depends on you. It can be a sustainable career for everybody kung una, you are proactive in taking care of yourself, your career, your professional growth. At marunong ka mag-handle ng finances mo kasi ikaw na yung responsible doon sa career mo, sa growth mo, saka sa kinikita mo. Yun po.
So ayun, grabe, very insightful. Who would have thought nga naman? Kasi 'di ba, when I mean long time a few years ago, everyone thinks na laging trabaho lang is like okay, laboratory, pag research and development, yun na talaga. Pero right now, 'di ba, parang kaya mo na mag-write outside like laboratories. Pwede ka nang kumuha ng ibang career na I mean different from your course. IT, pwede mo na siyang gawin kahit nasa bahay ka lang. Marketing, unlike dati na kailangan mo talagang pumunta sa opisina. Sobrang daming careers na offered right now.
Saka minsan kasi minsan kasi ang nangyayari, 'di ba, especially hindi pa naman tayo ganoon ka profound mag-isip na ito talaga yung gusto ko, ito talaga yung passion ko. Minsan may mga tao diyan na yun ang nag-graduate sila doon, pero hindi talaga yun yung gusto nila or baka na-influence lang ng parents or hindi pa sila sure, they're just testing the water. So freelancing would be a good avenue to explore and really find discover your true passion.
Totoo.
I agree with Yeah, totoo yan. I agree with Eloy actually kasi gusto niyo yung unang tanong pa lang, no, nasa gitna na agad, fact or fiction, nasa ulo tayo. Depende kasi talaga sa grit ng tao. There are a lot of ways for you to get opportunities. There are VA companies and consulting firms like Virtual Champions. You can also go direct hire. Ang dami talagang pwedeng gawin, ang daming avenues for us, regardless of who we are and where we are in the world, right? So, yeah. Thank you.
Saka ngayon, kasi recently medyo nagbabago na yung trend. Dati parang project to project. Meron na ring mga remote companies na nag-hire na, let's say, kailangan nila ng full-time, part-time. So, in a way, parang nandun na siya sa gitna na para kang may full-time na trabaho, pero remote. remote ka.
Remote work.
Agree.
Sobrang daming ang careers, di ba? Pag, for example, sa Nike pa lang, let's say, that specific brand, makikita mo na agad na may nakalagay silang sa careers nila, remote opportunities. So, yung freelancing, hindi na lang siya napasok dun sa part na, alam mo yun, specific jobs na, ano ba yun, kahit corpo, kinukuha na rin yung remote and freelancers for, as a career already, na prepared sa mga websites nila. So, yun, di ba? Unang question pa lang yan, guys. Unang statement pa lang yun.
Grabe na.
Grabe na yung ano. So, di ba?
Grabe na yung utak ko, medyo na-drain ng konti. Wait lang.
So, let's move forward dun sa second question. Kasi ako very curious din ako dito sa second statement na to. Freelancing is only for creatives or virtual assistants. So, let's ask one of our panelists. Ikaw ba, Ate Jel, for you? Para sa'yo, para lang ba sa creatives and virtual assistants yung freelancing?
It's fiction for me, no? This is actually when I started nga a couple of years ago in freelancing, I never thought that I would encounter unique hiring sa freelancing. Kasi we tend to generalize kapag word na freelancing, something the work should be on the creative side of things, designing, editing, ano ba? Siguro yung ibang creative related talaga na work there's also technical, yung mga developers, ganyan.
Parang ang mga nauna dati, mga ghostwriters.
Yan, o writing.
Yan yung
diba?
mga
Kasama
nauna
sa
dati.
creatives, oo. And then, kapag sinabi mo naman virtual assistant, admin work, ganyan. Pag magpa-file ka lang ng ganito, ire-record mo lang sa ganito, ganun. Pero, from the time it started, and actually sa virtual assistant, kasama na rin ito yung mga online tutors, diba? Yung mga English tutors, kasama na rin doon. So, ESL. So, yung pivot na nangyari, actually, ang tipping point lang naman na hindi lang yung pandemic. Even before that, nagsistart na rin tayo eh. Natutunan ko over time na every company is unique. No matter how small or big it is, it's unique. So, it requires a set of people who can, get the work done based on their skill set, their experience, and their character. I've had isa sa mga hiring actually na difficult, no, kung tutuusin for virtual champions is always the ClickUp project manager. Project manager, kaya maghanap, kayang-kaya yan. Pero someone who is an expert in ClickUp, no, doon nagkakatalo yung qualifications ng mga candidates. Kaya nagiging stringent dahil may assessment din, involved din yung part na kailangang mag-test for, yun nga, sa ClickUp mismo, kailangan may experience in creating workspaces for clients. So, napakalaking bagay nun. So, yun, sa totoo lang, it's a niche, no? So, marami pang opportunities out there. Minsan, may mga na-encounter ako na, accountant po ako, ano ang pwedeng opportunity for me? Accountant din. HR po ako, ano pong opportunity for me? It's the same thing. So, malaking bagay din dito actually yung career change, no, or career shift na tinatawag nila. Like for me, HR, tapos naging PM ako. So, yung pagiging, yung opportunity din for you to be able to change or shift the way you want to go, mas possible siya actually sa freelancing. So, yun. Fiction po yung statement na yun.
I agree. Grabe. Sobrang dami kayang niche ng virtual assistants. Hindi siya weird, pero it's very wrong na virtual assistant lang yung laging sinasabi. Virtual assistant ka lang. Like, girl, sobrang dami ng niche ng virtual assistant. Pwede kang podcast manager, pwede kang marketing assistant, pwede kang EA, pero virtual assistant kasi remote work. Parang sobrang dami nung nakapaloob dun sa virtual assistants na tagging. And I think sa creatives din, pwedeng sa paggawa sa piling ko dun sa ClickUp project management, hindi lang basta yun eh. I mean, hindi na-limit, kailangan creative ka kasi kailangan mag-isip kung how the board works, how SOPs work for your clients. Pero feeling ko kailangan din ng in-depth na knowledge training for those kinds of people for you to be master of ClickUp. Diba?
Totoo rin. Actually, lapagan mo nga kami ng ginagawa mo sa mga clients.
Oo. So, sobrang dami niyang client.
Yun yung testament kasi na maraming niche na pwedeng gawin as a VA.
As a VA, podcast manager, admin works also, and then I do podcast editing, creative, social media manager, Ano pa ba? Video editor. Ano pa ba? Marami pa eh. Marami tayong pwedeng gawin.
Content writing ba?
O yun.
Content creator, SEO, meron din sa SEO.
Nag-set up ka rin ng ClickUp.
Yes,
Oo.
Project na rin.
Meron din sa Shopify.
So, mali talaga na creatives. Mali talaga na creatives kasi dapat alam mo lahat.
Dapat alam mo lahat. So, dapat sobrang flexible ka sa lahat ng mga mamimit mong clients and i-discover mo lang din kung saan ka komportable. And ano yung mga gusto mo pang matutunan during the process of being a freelancer. Yan.
Saka minsan talaga may yung mga clients, marunong ka ba nito? Pwede mo bang gawin to? Yung tipong mga out of this world request.
Yeah.
Na hindi mo alam. Gagawa ka ng aalamin mo. Hindi pwedeng hindi mo alam.
Totoo.
I-research mo, aaralin mo. Kahit
saka may preconceived notion din kasi na kapag Jack or Jane of all trades ka, master of none, 'di ba? Hindi na kasi totoo 'yun din sa ngayon. Parang minsan ang client can only afford just one VA. Pero yung mga request niya, pwede ka bang mag-set up ng
pwede ka bang mag-develop ng app?
Pwede ka bang mag-develop ng app sa WordPress tapos aralin na lang. Yung mga ganon, again, every company is unique. So, it's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to forge your own path. Ika nga, kung halimbawa nagustuhan mo yung SEO, kagaya ni dati ba? Bakit hindi mo ituloy yun? Yung ganon.
And minsan kasi it's not because yun lang yung afford nila. Minsan kasi yung comfort na isa lang yung taong kinakausap mo. Kasi kung remote, mahirap mag-build ng connection and relationship. Kung mag-hire na naman sila ng isa pang tao, magkakaroon ng people management na kailangan na skills. So, mas mahirap para dun sa business owner na mag-focus kasi kailangan niya mag-coordinate ng different people. Kaya minsan, tinatry nila na mag-reach out muna dun sa existing roster ng tao na baka naman, marunong naman sila. O baka pwedeng
Nag-gamble pa. Nag-gamble talaga na halimbawa, gawa ka ng text message, mag-compose ka. Kailangan ma-market mo sa ganito. Yung mga ganun. So yun, nakakatuwang mga opportunities kumbaga din.
Very true yan. Diba?
Medyo mabigat na yung next. Mabigat na naman yung next.
Oo nga.
Sunod na question. So, yung sunod nating statement, actually, ito, medyo curious din ako dito. Freelancing is isolating and can impact mental health. Let's ask siguro yung natin. Buong virtual assistance team namin to ha. Siya na yung bumubuo ng buong virtual assistance team namin. Daryl, sa tingin mo? How do you react to this statement?
As a mentally stable person.
As a mentally stable person. So, when I'm starting na do freelancing noong 2021, di ba pandemic noon? So, ang gusto ko lang nun, since isolated na tayo that time, sabi ko gusto ko pa nang may ibang pagkakabalahan bukod dun sa dati kong work on a corporate job, research specialist or research and development specialist ako noon. And then what I find is mahirap magtrabaho ng mag-isa ka lang since sa corporate lagi ko silang nakakasama, lagi ko silang nakakasalamuha. Dito sa pag-freelance, yung client mo, kausap mo lang siya sa computer or sa chat, sa Messenger or WhatsApp, ganyan. Ito, mag-isa ka lang. So, may mga struggles ka na ikaw lang yung makakasagot. And then, what you do is find time to reach out. Yeah, reach out first sa mga kagaya nila Ate Eloy, yung mga pwede mong lapitan agad, yung mga friends mo na virtual assistant din or the freelancer. Maghingi ka ng advice kung may mga problema ka. And also, find time or isingit mo sa schedule mo yung na lumabas since pwede na ngayon lumabas sa or magtrabaho ka sa coffee shop, ganyan. And then parang pinaghalo siya na fact or fiction for me eh. So kailangan lang talaga po?
Nasa or fact
or fiction. Nasa or ako. Kasi if you acknowledge that na yes, ma-isolate ka talaga, makaka-affect talaga yun sa mental health mo. Pero once you address that, you can have opportunity to answer that problem or kung may mental health man na issue, yun, isama mo sa routine mo yung pag-socialize, go out, unwind, find free time for yourself or find self-care, magbasa ka ng libro, ano pa ba?
Mag-workout ka.
Mag-workout. Ako nag-free dive, ganon. And ano pa ba?
Mag-badminton ka, mga ganun.
Mag-badminton.
Kada hapon. Wala
And
ka pang
then-
weekend mo. Badminton ka muna.
Yeah. And if it actually affect your mental health, don't hesitate to seek support. Professional help is
Professional.
needed. Yeah.
Oo.
Oo.
Yeah.
Sa akin naman, kahit naman anong trabaho, nakaka-affect naman talaga sa mental health. Lalo na kung kahit ba sabing office-based yan, pero para ka namang nasa kulungan din, di ba? So, nasa sa'yo talaga yan.
Yeah.
Kailangan mo kasing, usually kasi yung anxiety, it comes from, helplessness, yung feeling ng helplessness. Kaya naging anxious. So kung isolated ka kasi parang feeling mo wala kang support system. So you can do that. Establish a support system. Kaya sa atin, inaano natin na i-prioritize ang self-care, i-prioritize ang exercise, ang good habits, tapos mag-co-work. Meron tayong virtual office na everybody, if they want to socialize or makipag-mingle or interact with other people, kailangan nilang i-increase yung social battery nila, punta lang sa virtual office, di ba? Ipina-prioritize natin na at least once a week, go out, change your environment, magtrabaho ka somewhere else. You have the choice naman, di ba? Pwede ka maging digital nomad, which is yung pangarap natin para kay Sweet. So, establish your own community and your own support system. Kailangan mong gawin yun for yourself. Kasi ako, nag-start ako 10 years ago. Wala pang konsepto ng pandemic nun. So, nung nag-pandemic, sabi ko, pinagsasabi ng mga ito, parang, ha? kasi na-overcome ko na siya during the first few years na nagsisimula ako. It can be very isolating and considering na very sociable, socialerang frog ako, dati lagi akong lumalabas, mahilig akong marami akong kaibigan. So, nung college, wala ako sa bahay. Hindi ako nagstay sa bahay namin. Lagi ako nasa labas. Lagi akong kasama ng mga friends ko. So, it was a big transition for me. And what worked for me is talagang establish a routine and protect your time. Protect your time as much as you can na meron kang time talaga for certain pillars of your life. Hindi lang puro trabaho. At what worked for me is hindi ako nagsabay-sabay ng clients. Hindi ko gusto kasing maging milyonaryo in 1 month. So, isang client lang ako at that time kasi while I was learning, the freelancing, ayoko nang sabay-sabay para hindi ako ma-overwhelm. So, protect your, your mental health. Ayun siya.
Agree ako dun kasi actually may sinulat nga akong part dito na parang this could be a fact, no? Yung freelancing is isolating and can impact your mental health. It could be a fact if you allow it to be. And unfortunately, there was a time in my life na I allowed it to be. So, kilala yan. Ako yung notorious na walang tulog sa VC. Yan. Palagi nagre-reply, hindi nag-a-allow ng boundaries. Sa pag-message, ganyan, even on weekends, even on alanganing oras ng araw, madaling araw, ganyan, nagre-reply ako. Minsan, iniisip ko nga kung nakadilat lang, may isang nakadilat na para mag-reply, Pero, from then on, natutunan ko rin na ang sweet spot talaga ay 100 2 clients lang. Okay na yun. Okay na yun for you. As long as it can sustain your finances. And to be honest, finances also helps mental health. Totoo yan. Totoo yan. Get some good sleep. Totoo din yan. And don't forget to eat. Yan. So,
Exercise.
Yes. Yan. Yeah. So, muna, take care of yourself first before you take care of others, sabi nga nila. Yeah.
Yung.
Di ba? First segment pa lang yon. Common freelancing assumptions pa lang yon. So, dahil dyan, mag-move on na tayo sa segment 2. And that's gonna be the realities of freelancing. So, one statement na binigay ng ating friends is, freelancers have lots of free time. Bilang bumuo ka ng buong VA team, sobrang dami mo palang free time.
Ilang oras ka ba sa isang araw? 30
paano?
Ang feeling ko, 25 hours, ganun, per day. So, ayan. Sa akin, fiction siya. Pero ang fact ay, freelancers have flexible time, flexible schedule. So, yan. So, ako, since I'm handling multiple clients, what I do is time management din. And also, sinisingit ko sa schedule ko ay yung each client. Also, kung kailan ko gustong gumala or pupunta ako kung saan, and doon ako mag-work. So, flexible tayo doon. And if gusto mo magpahinga, you can do that. And ano pa ba? Ang mga challenges dyan,
Paano mo yung ginagawa yung time management for your clients? Anong method mo?
Sige nga, para matutunan ko din.
Kung strict kasi ako sa oras, pinaka ko talaga is morning person ako. Gusto kong gumising ng 8 o'clock, pero minsan 9 o'clock na siya nangyayari. So, at 8 or 9, I'll start doing my clients na. And then, pahinga ng tanghali. And then, continue ng after lunch. Then, a little break again sa mga anong oras ba? Mga 6, ganon. Dinner. Tapos pagka medyo may onting time pa ako, gagawa pa ako ng onting clients ng gabi. And then, syempre, prioritize ko yung pagtulog ng mahaba. So, 6 hours minimum or more. Ayan.
So, naka-block na lang yung mga clients mo? Weekly or
Naka-block
daily?
na yung mga... depende sa priority. Kunyari may urgency client, syempre, yun muna yung uunahin natin. Pero pero kung talaga magsusunod tayo ng strict schedule, may time blocking na talaga ako for each of my clients. So, yan. And pagka Sabado-Linggo, syempre, free diver or free dive coach din ako. So, I find time mag-enjoy din during that time. Dami kong oras and marami rin akong oras gumala. Pero nasa mo rin yan, time management and knowing your priorities every day. Ayan.
True.
Ako din. Ako kasi ganun din eh. Binablock ko na yung oras ko. Throughout the week, on a daily basis din, min-adjust ko yung time blocks. And strict ako sa pagsunod sa time block ko. Kasi kung hindi, wala mangyari sa atin, guys. So, time management is talaga prioritize ko. Ang prioritization ko, may color coding. Yung red, yun yung pinaka-importante. Yung yellow, sumunod. So, may color coding siya para alam ko, pagkita ko pa lang sa calendar ko, alam ko kung ano yung priority for the day. So, being very strict with my time blocks, that has helped me so much. Pero lang pag walang internet doon yun, kung gagala ka, kung gusto mo mag-digital nomad, make sure na yung pupuntahan mo ay may internet. Kasi kahit gaano ka pagaling mag-organize, kahit gaano pa kaganda yung prioritization mo, kung walang internet, wala pong mangyayari. Ayan. Saka, siguro freelancers, dadagdagan ko lang yung statement. Freelancers have lots of free time compared to empleyado.
Yeah,
Bakit? Kasi natanggal na yung travel time, di ba?
Yeah,
natanggal na yung prepare ng baon. Lahat ng mga extra activities na ginagawa mo as an employee, natanggal na yun. Magka-clock in ako sa trabaho, 2 minutes. Kasi magta-turn on ako ng medyo 2 minutes yung pag-turn on ng computer ko. Yun lang. Pero nung nagtatrabaho po ako sa Ayala, nung wala pang BGC nung mga panahon ko, Ayala is the BGC. Ang travel time ko, 2 hours. Ayala Avenue pa lang yon. Galing pa akong Quezon City.
Layo.
Pero pagligo, pag-prepare ng baon, ganyan. Pero may time pa na uwian ako Alabang to LB, Las Baños, Laguna to Ayala. So yung time na
hassle talaga ng traffic.
Travel time na yun, mas napagod ako actually sa travel kaysa sa trabaho. Madali yung travel ako napagod. Yung time na yun, yung time spent na yun sa travel, pwede mo na i-spend to other things, di ba? So, mas marami kang time compared na sa empleyado ka. I think yun yung fact.
Yeah.
True.
Yes. I agree. Diba? Nasa tamang lang yan, time management and time blocking as a freelancer. And moving on, we have another statement coming here. Freelancer have limited professional growth. Ate Jel, as an HR consultant, sa tingin mo, limited lang ba yung professional growth namin? Ito na ba yun? Hanggang dito na lang ba ako? Go.
Siguro in the ghetto world, no? Oh, hells, no. Hindi. So, fiction siya. Okay? So, ang dami ko nang masyadong kilalang mga tao na nag-progress really well, no? Nag-progress really well sa ginagawa nila. Virtual champions pa lang. We have a lot of homegrown talent here na talagang nag-start. Actually, may isa nga akong naalala, nag-start siya na ClickUp project, yung biggest project natin na 2022. So, natural progression yan is you go to our VA services, you go to our other services like implementation, consulting, SOPs, ganyan. And then, etong taong to ay, yun nga, nag-aaral pa. And nag-progress na siya really nicely talaga sa implementation. He was named Rookie of the Year no 2022. implementation MVP 2023. And nakaka-proud yung fact na he was able to get full-time work, no? Sa VC din, eventually. So, yung mga ganitong klaseng opportunities, sinasabi natin marami, pero yung all-in-one pack na maayos yung client, maayos yung bayad, maayos yung yung work environment is actually the perfect sweet spot for it, no? Professional growth, yes. Pwede dito. Again, madami na ako nakilala na minsan 6 months pa lang, sobrang na-impress na yung tao, ginawa siyang operations manager.
Ikaw ba yun?
Hindi ako yun.
Tago natin sa pangalan. Blind item pala.
Tapos, maganda rin kasi yung environment ng freelancing kasi isa sa mga parang natutuwa akong part dito is a lot of clients, a lot of companies, no, gamble on shifters. Tama ba? Adapters. Basta yung part na lipat siya from one industry to another or from corpo to freelance. So we open doors for those people as well. Hindi lahat ginagawa yun. So thankful ako na karamihan ng mga clients natin, karamihan ng mga companies na nag-accommodate na clients, they do the same thing din. So, yun. Fiction po yun.
Ako, I can cite a lot of success stories, no? Una-una ako. Ako po ay undergrad, hindi ako nakagraduate. Suma po ako ng UPLB. 10 taon ako sa UPLB, hindi ako nakagraduate. Wala naman akong 10 taon na corporate experience. Siguro a few years lang, minsan nga months lang. Pero I was able to thrive doon sa freelancing. So, mainly because I found my niche na yung specialization ko kasi industrial engineer, process talaga yung specialty ko. So nahanap ko yung yung position ko, yung place ko sa mundo. Another, yung minention mo, pangalan natin si Chan. Si Chan. Grabe. Kahit ako sobrang amazed sa progression ng career ni Chan kasi nung nasa edad niya ako, hindi ko pa alam kung anong nangyayari sa buhay ko eh. Hindi na siya nag-transition ng 10 years to earn the same amount. Ilan? 7 digits? 6 digits? Grabe yung undergrad, kumikita na ng ganung kalaki. Tapos pagka-graduate, walang problema sa paghanap ng trabaho. Full-time agad, di ba? Grabe yung progression. Hindi na siya nag-start ng 10 years. Ako ng 10 years ng VA bago ako nakarating dito. Siya, diretso agad. So, ganun agad. Yung
big time.
Hindi man lang unti-unti.
Another thing, for example, si Tay, yung one of our freelancers na na-buyout na ng client na ilang years sa isang car manufacturing company na tipong pagkadating niya ng bahay, piniping pa siya ng supervisor niya. Walang work-life balance, walang promotion, nag-iintay lang na merong maumalis or mag-retire para posibleng ma-promote siya. 5 years, pero yung salary niya sa freelancer, mas mataas pa. Nakapag-travel pa siya, nakapag-cruise pa siya. So, ang ganda nung success story, di ba? Si Da is also the same thing, nagaling sa corporate, di ba? That's the transition sa freelancing. Ngayon, you're pursuing now your passion, which is free diving. So, marami, and we're only tapping din sa close circle natin. Marami pa dyan na freelancers talaga out there na ang ganda ng mga success stories. So, that would be an interesting now if we could invite people na talagang inspire other freelancers. So yun. Malaki talaga yung potential dito sa freelancing. You just have to be ikaw ang accountable sa growth mo. You're the captain of your own ship. Ikaw ang magko-course, ng direction mo sa career na to. Ayun.
Yes.
Di ba? Yun pa lang. Sa VC pa lang yun. Sa VC pa lang yun. Yung mga totoo. And, syempre, di ba, kung may professional growth, ito normal misconception I think to para sa akin. Yung susunod nating statement. Freelancers are prone to burnout. It's sa'yo, Ate Eloy. Para sa'yo, prone to burnout nga ba? Coming na 10 years na yung experience mo as a VA.
Again, kahit na bang anong trabaho, pwede ka ma-burnout. Diba? Hindi lang naman Huwag namang freelancing lang. May mga certain stress kasi that can be associated to freelancing. Una, unstable. Hindi siya katulad ng employment. Lalo na kung, Japanese culture, di ba, ang employment nila is talagang very secured. Minsan, ipapasa mo pa sa salin lahi yung trabaho. So, walang ganon sa freelancing. Hindi pwedeng, manahin ng anak mo yung trabaho mo. Yung uncertainty ng trabaho. So that could be one of the stressors, no? Na minsan din kung project-based ka, hindi ka fixed retainer monthly, hindi mo sure kung magkano sasahurin mo next month. Medyo uncertain. So that could be also part of the stress. But of course, you can find ways to address yung ma-minimize yung mga stress na ganon. Una, kung project-based ka at medyo unstable yung income mo sa isang client, kaya minsan may mga freelancers talaga na nagsasabay-sabay ng client para at least meron silang safety net. Pero again, I would suggest kung kaya nyo nung mag-stick sa isa or dalawa, that's my recommendation. That has worked for me. Wag naman yung 5 kasi may iba na, I've heard stories of people na kumikita ng 6 digits, pero 5 yung clients, hindi na natutulog.
At nasa hospital ka.
Nasa hospital. Yung kinita nila, napunta lang sa hospital bills. Ayun. So, i-diversify mo yung source of income mo. Pwede rin na while you're freelancing, meron kang business on the side. Because you can, di ba? Katulad ni Daryl na may freediving class na nagko-coach na siya. Pwede kang mag-start ng business on the side para at least meron kang, don't put your eggs in just one basket, para meron ka pa rin alternative source of income. Saka, again, yung support system, emphasize ko lang, talagang create a circle and sumali ka sa mga freelancing group, socialize, prioritize your health and well-being. Saka talagang kailangan mo magbalanse. Ibalanse mo yung trabaho. Nung una sa akin, mahirap yan kasi akala nila dito lang ako sa bahay, kakatok sila pag may kailangan. Paglulutuin nila ako. Hindi pwede. Kailangan mong iset yung boundaries sa clients mo, sa mga kasama mo sa bahay. So protect your boundaries. Kailangan alam din nila kung anong nangyayari sa'yo. Hindi lang yung akala nila nag-game ka lang, naglalaro ka lang sa computer. Nanonood ka lang ng Netflix. Kailangan alam nila yung nangyayari para they can support you better. Kasi minsan, na-realize ko parang nagagalit ako kasing ingay nila, hindi naman nila alam, di ba? So it's also your responsibility to communicate to the people around you na ito yung needs mo and this is how they can support you. Para hindi ka ma-burnout, di ba?
Totoo yan. Kasi there was a time in my life before na parang 20 hours in a day ako nagtatrabaho. 7 clients. Before VC pa to. Huwag ka mag-alala, Eloy, hindi na. Joke lang.
Tapos yung nasanggi lang yung siko mo, parang
there was a time then, palagi akong pinagsasabihan ni Eloy, natutulog ka ba? Every time pumapasok ako sa virtual office, matutulog ka ba? Pwede ka ba matulog? Natulog ka na ba? Yung mga ganon.
Yung tipo kailangan ilagay mo na sa daily stand-up mo kung ilang oras ka natulog.
Oo. Tapos, there was a time din, 2023, namuntik ko na siya maging KPI.
yung straight na hindi ka natulog, no? Naka 5 days straight na ba?
Oo, ganun kalala kasi hindi talaga ako natutulog. And, yun nga, again, boundaries and all that. No, hindi ko kasi inalaw yung sarili ko na magkaroon ng ganon. Ngayon, nung nagsimula tong taon na to, parang it was a reset for me na parang sabi ko, okay, kailangan ko na. So, every morning, niyayaya ako ni Jana, lumabas at mag-mall at mag-badminton. Ganyan, lakad lang, stroll lang. Turuan siyang mag-drive, ganyan. Si Jana nga pala yung partner ko. So, yung ganon para sa akin, it sets the scene for the day. Kumbaga, no? Okay, it was a good morning. It was a really lovely morning for us. Masaya magtrabaho nito for sure mamaya. So you spread the vibe with that din. So para sa akin naman din kasi wala rin namang madaling trabaho, no? So pwedeng fact, pwedeng fiction na prone ka talaga sa burnout. Again, if you allow it to be. Yun.
Yeah.
I agree. Kasi ngayon, di ba, sobrang uso na din ang mga functional freeze. Kasi hindi maaalis pag sa mga freelancer na nasa bahay lang na isang hakbang lang, opisina na. So, feeling ko, good idea rin talaga na magkaroon ng, boundaries kung saan ka lang mag-work sa bahay, kung saan talaga yung rest station mo, mga ganon, para hindi nagka-coincide yung rest station at saka yung workstation mo. Kasi the fact na magkasama yun, sobrang daling mapapuntang sumakabilang kama para matulog. Mga ganong moment. So,
saka ngayon kasi gusto ko lang manggaling sa point of yung parang gratitude saka appreciation na before wala namang internet eh. Imagine nyo nag-abroad na pupunta ng Saudi ganyan. 2 years ang contract, 5 years ang contract, isolated. Wala pang internet nun, wala pang YouTube nun. Pero survive, di ba? Lalo naman ngayon, marami naman tayong ways on how to entertain ourselves, hindi ma-burn out, find ways to yung kahit paano do fun activities kahit na nasa bahay ka lang, di ba? Kahit nga tayo ginawa natin na online game lang, nagko-contribute na siya dun sa kahit papaano yung fun side and social side para hindi ka naman ma-burnout, para naman may break naman yung monotony sa daily mo. So, marami na tayong avenues right now. Hindi na pwedeng sabihin na, ay, bored ako or burnout ako, ay, I'm so, anxious. Diba? Marami ng ways. I'm so down.
Alam niyo sa totoo lang, no, may times din naman talaga na nararamdaman din naman natin yan, no matter where we are, kung nasa na tayo, kung ano ng posisyon natin. Pero sa totoo lang sa VC, ang isa sa mga pinaka-natutuwa akong part nito is we get to play games together. So may esports team nga po. Ay, sorry naman.
Nag-flag.
Yan. Natutuwa ako kapag nagko-co-op games tayo. Natutuwa ako, promise. So,
Pangalisin kasi ng stress yun. Saka exercise really helped me. Kasi nung 5 years ako na sobrang sakit ng likod ko, nung nag-standing desk ako nawala. Ngayon naman, mas marami akong energy pag nag-exercise talaga. Kaya exercise has been part of my priorities, especially this year. So, yun talaga yung masasuggest ko na find a hobby, which could be an online game, exercise, another thing. Kasi mas nagkakaroon ka ng energy para mawala yung feeling na parang pagod na pagod ka, parang wala kang energy. So, exercise helps and hobbies also helps.
Nurturing din your mind. Kahit 5-minute read lang sa online or libro mismo, 5 minutes lang. Will not
Monk
take a
journey na nga to eh. Grabe na yung
Journey.
Monk journey. How to be a monk.
True.
Grabe yung level of consciousness.
Malaking tulong din yung work environment. Kasi parang sa atin sa VCPH, girl, napaka-competitive ng mga tao. Hindi naman ako nag-ML dati pero dahil nag-ML kayong lahat, habang may activity tayo, gusto ko
nag-ML na rin.
Mga mapa-ML ka na din. Nagba-badminton sila. Matry din nga yun. Parang hindi pwede sila lang yung magaling.
Nag-fasting ka din. Nag-fasting ka din.
Nag-fasting sila. Bakit? Competitive tayo. 16/8 agad. Laban tayo din sa lang ito. Ganon.
Positive
influence. Oo. Kaya feeling ko, hindi ka din talaga ganun mga burnout sa VC Kasi sobrang daming mong pwedeng activity sa mga taong nasa loob. So, malaking factor yung work environment. So, yun. Di ba? Tapos na natin yung second segment. So, for the last segment of this episode, syempre, hindi ito makukompleto if we won't debunk any controversial misconceptions about freelancing. So, guys, let's get those juicy bits and start the third segment. So, let's start it off with this statement. Freelancing is easy money according sa mga tao na nag-start. Ito lagi yung plug You can earn 5,000 a day. Just work on your cell phone and you have internet. Give me 10 minutes of your time.
Scam po ata to.
Scam po yan. Magabayad ka po ng registration.
Freelancing easy money. Lagi sinasabi yun, di ba? Click on the link. You have this, you can earn 3,000 to 5,000 in just 30 minutes.
WhatsApp at Viber, medyo nag-iba na sila ng
Oo,
chat.
yung nag-spam. Oo. Grabe yun.
Wag lang po tayo link.
Si Daryl bilang marami kang kliyente, sobrang easy money nga ba ng freelancing?
Hindi po. Hindi po. Yung agad yung sagot. Freelancing is not an easy money. Siyempre, kailangan mong mahanap yung niche mo, yung, yung tamang client, tamang rate, ganon. And, siyempre, dapat mayroon kang skill set. Kasi kung, nag-freelance ka, pero kung lagi ka namang palit ng clients, wala din. Kung clients mo ay hindi ka rin nagugustuhan kasi yung skill set mo is hindi ka naman ganun ka-competitive, syempre, hindi nun mapapantayan yung gusto mong sahod. So, ayun. So, ano pa ba? So, hindi siya easy money. Kailangan mong pagtrabahuhan pa din. Lahat naman wala namang easy money. Syempre, pag easy money, scam yan. Kailangan...
Pag easy money, sugar daddy, yan.
Wala naman talagang walang trabaho na madali. Walang pera na hindi pinaghihirapan kasi kailangan magaling ka, madiskarte ka para makuha mo yung perang or yung perang gusto mong maipon or makuha on your clients or sa anumang work na pinagtatrabahuhan mo. Yun.
Nakikita ko siyang parang kasi it has been a constant conversation you go to Facebook groups about freelancers, about virtual assistants, maraming ganyan. Guys, 1 month pa lang may kotse na ako, tapos a lot of people will comment, saan ba pwede mag-apply? Makukuha ko rin ba yan? Same thing na yan. Pero behind it kasi, di ba nga parang may, ano ba yun? Sa LinkedIn yata yun. It's a thought leader saying na success is an iceberg. So, yung nakikita mo na nasa pinakataas is the success. Pero yung totoo, it's years of hard work, years of building yourself into your full potential. So, ang working term na naisip ko dito is actually romanticizing. Naro-romanticize masyado ang freelancing. And we have to also put people back into the reality that while it happens to others, baka kasi hindi sa lahat nangyayari yun. No? So sabi nga ni Da, wala namang perang hindi pinaghihirapan. So yeah.
Actually, naging trend kasi yun, lalo na sa mga nag-viral na content na magpo-post ng screenshot ng PayPal o ito transaction. Hindi ko nga ginagawa kasi baka marami mag-DM na
pautang po.
Utang pala.
Kung gusto ko, pwede naman, di ba? Pwede natin ipakita yung history, yung ganyan, yung transaction, yung kung ano yung nare-receive natin. Pero kasi, tip of the iceberg nga lang talaga yun. Kasi yung grabe yung effort, kung ano yung binild mo to arrive to that particular moment. It's just a moment. Pero yung journey, beyond that point is sobrang laki, mahirap, it's difficult, it's challenging. Saka maraming dugot, pawis, sleepless nights, iyak, tears, saka pukpukan ng naganap bago nakarating sa moment na yun. So hindi talaga siya isip. At ang napansin ko kasi, ako speaking from my experience lang ha, pag empleyado ka kasi pwede ka mag-clock in, clock out. Medyo yung 2 hours, medyo may kikipagkwentuhan ka lang sa pantry. Pwede yun. Nangyayari yun, di ba? Kikipagkwentuhan. Nagagawa kayo ng decor sa office, di ba? Medyo pinapatagal niyo yung paggupit para medyo tumagal yung sa freelancing hindi. Kailangan meron kang output. Medyo mas performance-based siya. Pag wala kang napakitang output, nag-track ka ng time ng ganitong oras, nasaan yung output mo? Pag wala kang napakitang output, ang bilis na tanggalin ka ng kliyente. Kasi hindi ka naman empleyado eh. Saka ang client mo ay nasa ibang bansa, mayroon bang labor law na magpo-protect sa'yo? Wala. Exactly. So it's really, kailangan you have to show up for it. Kailangan mo may mapakita na output. Kailangan mo mag-perform. Kasi livelihood mo yun nakataya. Wala kang HR na pagsusumbungan. Wala kang dole na pagreklamuhan. Kailangan mo ayusin yung buhay, yung trabaho mo. Hindi pwede yung clock in, clock out, magkakape ng 3 oras, babalik. Hindi pwede ganun.
Pag login, bababa papuntang Starbucks, ganun.
Wala mga call center, wala mga Hadouken moves dito. Pag wala kang napakita, wala. Legwa ka, girl.
Totoo yun. Actually, red flag sa hiring ang yung mga fake it till you make it. No? So, yun lang naman. Pero, fiction talaga siya. Sabi nga nung kuya ko, I remember him telling me na, siguro at this point, humingi ka na ng mas mataas na rate. I think he said it's to me 2 years ago. Kasi, binabayaran ka na nila, hindi dahil sa sipag mo, pero sa bilis mo, dahil alam mo na yung gagawin mo.
Yes.
Because it was years of experience, years of your skills being honed for that moment. Yun.
And I still get that feedback na, uy, grabe naman yung rate mo, galing ka sa Philippines, as ganyan yung rate mo. Why not? Bakit? Kasi yung binabayaran mo, for example, for a lower rate, pero it might take them 10 hours. I can do it in 2 hours, di ba?
Ganun.
Ito yung value. So, value-based pricing siya. Hindi siya because I can do this, bibigyan kita ng 10 hours. No, because I can do this faster, better, more efficient. Saka mas maganda yung output. So, kaya talaga. So, yung part na easy money in a way, ang leverage siguro kasi natin, because we're getting clients globally, yung pricing, medyo pwede nating i-take advantage kasi relatively lower yung cost of living natin. That's true naman. Pero we can compete sa prices ng global workforce. So for example, if you give a bit of context, kumari, ang babysitter, let's say sa ibang bansa is $20. Or cleaner. Kung mag-hire sila, let's say, ng secretary, it's more than that. It could be like $30. So even if your asking price is 15, it's still relatively cheaper kung mag-hire sila locally. So, meron dong opportunity na posible na pwede kang mag-increase ng rate, pero it would still be relatively cheaper for the clients na international. Diba? So, yun naman yung, in a way, advantage natin. Pero marami pa rin na ibang nationalities like India can also do the same thing, Pakistan. Ang laban na lang natin is yung quality ng trabaho. Kasi hindi pwede na ganito yung rate mo tapos bubudol mo lang pala. Hindi mo ayusin yung trabaho. Kasi again, lagi ko naman sinasabi na we want to uphold yung nation natin na, how we are associated as workers na ganito tayo maganda yung communication skills natin, ganito yung rate natin, pero quality din yung trabaho natin para mas marami pang clients ang mag-hire ng Filipinos. So, wag tayong mag-take advantage na para lang sa sarili natin, mag-hire tayo, tapos hindi naman natin ayusin yung trabaho. Think of it na we're doing this as a nation, for our nation din, hindi lang para sa individual gains natin. Ayaw.
O, diba? Para sa Pilipinos.
Para sa economy.
O, diba? Pero eto, may sunod pa dito Aside sa easy money, there's also this misconception that freelancing lifestyle is not only for the young. Sorry na po sa aming mga nakababata, Miss Ma'am. Pero Ate Jel, pakisagot ka na ito. ano yung input mo dito? Na para lang daw, not only for the young ang freelancing lifestyle.
It's a fact. Oo. Kasi, I've known so many people. Eloy.
Grabe naman.
I have known so many people na parang mas matanda na sa akin, mas batikan na talaga ng mga VEs talaga. And ito na talaga yung ginagawa nila for decades even. As in, sobrang parang locally yata, iisa lang yung website para makakuha ka ng trabaho. That was Odesk before. Ngayon, di ko maalala kung ano na ba siya ngayon. Upwork na ba?
Upwork na. Mas yung nag-start na talaga kung umpisa pa lang.
Oo, Odesk. Kaya wala pang Facebook groups. Hindi pa natin na discover yung power ng Facebook groups before in finding jobs. Kasi sobrang confined tayo dun sa fact na if it's jobs, it's just for job sites. Mga ganon. So, ang dami ko nakilala ay actually parang nung etong huli, nung nag-full-time work ako, may nagtanong sa akin, ilang taong ka na ba, Jel? Sinabi ko yung age ko. 20-ish. Hindi, joke na. 30-ish. So, tapos sabi nila, grabe, ang bata mo pa. Ganyan. Sabi ko, bata? 30-ish na ako. Tapos biglang nagka-revealan na ang pinakamatanda sa amin is actually 15 years older than me. Ganon. So, oo. And by choice siya. Itong taong to kumikita naman na ng malaki, sustainable naman na yung ginagawa niya. Pwede naman siya mag-business na lang, di ba? Up until this person retires. Pero alam mo yun, there's a lot of things out there. And again, it will all boil down to being a choice. Kung gusto mong service-based ba yung ginagawa mo or you'll run your own business na, it's a choice of the path that you wanna take. Pero yes, totoo yun. Ang dami-daming tao na yun nga, it's not only for the young. Kasi ngayon, di ba, parang ang hype is nag-aaral ka pa, mag-VA ka muna on your part-time.
Marami na gumagawa ng ganun. Which is,
totoo naman.
Marami na naging milyonaryo na bata pa. Na mga, let's say, e-commerce business owners. Kasi na-break na talaga yung barrier because of, digitalization. Pero, hindi lang talaga siya para sa bata.
Yes.
Siguro lang kasi ang connotation na ganun. Kasi pag freelancing, medyo techie. Kailangan medyo techie. Pero that shouldn't stop you. Kunwari kung medyo, baby boomer ka. Baby boomer ka, baka hindi ka masyadong tech savvy kasi Windows 98 lang noon. It shouldn't stop you. Why? Because kung nandun ka na sa age na you've acquired wealth of knowledge and wisdom, pwede ka na mag-consultant, di ba? And consultants are, you show up for a call and then you make recommendations. Makikipag-video chat ka. Ganun. Pwede yun. Hindi mo kailangang maging tech savvy kasi hindi ka naman magpo-format ng Microsoft Word na kailangan na alam mo lahat ng buttons dun sa Microsoft Word. Hindi naman.
Define mo lahat yan.
Yung wisdom kabayaran sa'yo, hindi yung mag-data entry ka sa computer. At kung talagang it comes to a point na kailangan mo maging tech savvy or may technology involved, mag-hire ka ng assistant mo, di ba? Somebody younger who can support you. So, hindi siya hindi siya hindrance. Age is just a number sa freelancing.
Totoo yan. Totoo yan. And isa rin sa mga nakakatuwang ginawa natin din for VC is equal employment opportunities. So regardless of age, of
Yes.
gender, sexual orientation, and preference, we welcome all applicants in VC. So thankful din naman ako that a lot of companies like us then, or even direct hire clients, value that kind of equal opportunities then for everyone. So, kaya rin nabubuksan yung doors for them, for all of us actually, para doon.
Diba?
And hopefully we can hold more training sessions para talagang ma-reach natin yung mga tao na willing matuto, gustong magsimula, kailangan lang nila ng starting point, kailangan nilang matutunan at least yung mga basics. So hopefully we can hold more professional development sessions para matulungan natin yung mga tao.
True. So guys, kung bata man kayo dyan, mapamatanda, and you're willing to look forward and working as a freelancer, you can check out our page. Plug in pala din to. Plug in. That's virtualchampions.ph. There is a career tab. Click the button, work with us. Yun na yung key nyo. Ito na yung start ng nyo. Lifelong
You need
career. True. So yan. Diba? Ganun lang ka-basic yung plug-in. Anyway, after this one, meron pa ditong isang statement. And I think kay Eloy to, na para kay Eloy talaga tong tanong na to. Ate Eloy, freelancers are trendsetters for the future of work. Kapitana, anong masasabi mo dito?
Bilang Oracle, hindi ko po nakikita ang future. Hindi ako clairvoyant.
Bilang celestial being. Tsari.
Ayon sa bolang kristal, ako naman based lang din sa nakita ko all through the years, no? Talagang nag-evolve and nag-grow yung freelancing. And I'm a testament to that. And I think it wouldn't stop here. It will evolve and grow pa. Kaya importante na if you want to start, do it now. Para matutunan mo na yung dynamics ng pagtatrabaho sa freelancing. Kasi ang nangyayari dun sa iba na iintayin muna nila yung peak na talagang hindi ko na kaya. Kailangan merong defining moment muna bago nila simulan na talagang out of frustration, which is it could be like a good motivation. Pero baka kasi mas okay na wag mo nang intayin na magpetsa de peligro para before you start yung change. Simulan mo na ngayon kasi sobrang daming doors na nag-o-open sa freelancing. Kahit yung remote work, wala na ngayong barrier. Borderless na ngayon. Hindi na kailangan, nawawala na yung bias sa race, sa nationality, kung nasa kamang mundo. So, i-take advantage natin yung nangyayari ngayon sa mundo. And I'd like to thank the people na talagang pioneers na nagsimula, mga trendsetters na mga nagsimula ng freelancing sa Philippines. Kasi now we're being known for in the freelancing world na talagang mahusay, magaling mag-communicate. And andun naman yung responsibility sa atin na mga freelancers na, again, to uphold the values and continue to provide quality work. At isa sa mga, ito medyo controversial, isa kasi sa mga part of our culture is medyo yes culture tayo. Kasi hindi tayo katulad ng mga Western na kaya nila makipag-argue and then okay na after, professional pa rin after. Wala tayong ganun. Anyway, lahat naman halos siguro it's human nature na we hate confrontation and difficult conversation. So I think that's one of the key skills that you have to learn. How to handle critical, difficult conversation, how to say no, how to reason out without getting emotional. Kasi ako, minsan emotional ako, naiiyak ako pag nagsasabi ako ng medyo nagsasabi ako ng mga hinanaing ko kasi it's not easy. So that's a skill that you have to learn, how to manage your clients and managing difficult conversations, how to say no, how to reason out. You don't just say yes just to save face tapos only to end up na hindi mo magagawa. Marami ding freelancers na nang-ghost ng client kasi they'd rather save the relationship instead of having that difficult conversation. So please learn how to manage those kinds of conversation instead of ghosting clients. Kasi may mga clients dyan hanggang ngayon hindi nila alam kung bakit. Kung bakit bigla nawala yung Filipino VA nila na sobrang bait. Hanggang ngayon hindi pa nila alam yung dahilan. Yun pala, hindi nila kaya, burnout na sila, nai-stress na sila, hindi nila sinasabi. So, yung integrity nyo, really, nakadepende talaga sa inyo. So, that's part of our responsibility. May opportunity na given to us, but may responsibility and accountability associated to that. yung mga rewards na ma-reap natin from the freelancing jobs, make sure na you give back as well by providing quality work para mas marami pang magtiwala sa mga Pinoy. Yun naman. And prepare for the future. I'd like to highlight AI is one of the growing trends. So, make sure na you upskill yourself, learn kung ano man yung mga bagong trends. Kasi it's an ever-evolving and fast-moving industry. You are responsible sa iyong growth. So make sure that you upskill yourself yung mga bagong technology out there in the market. And hindi lang kayo freelancer, kayo ay leaders. So you're leading this industry and make sure na kayo magiging mabuting role model kayo sa susunod pang henerasyon ng mga freelancers. And I thank you.
Okay.
Grabe yun. Grabe yung episode na to, di ba? Sobrang thrilling. Ang dami nyo nalaman. Marami ako natutunan. And maraming words of inspiration.
Totoo, magandang training yung yung difficult conversations, yung handling difficult conversations sa totoo lang.
Tanda ko, inaluloko na ako dati ni Ate Eloy kasi
ilang taon bago mo natutunan?
Medyo 2.
Na mag-no, 2 years.
Kakatulog ko lang, mag-chat siya sa akin ng 2:00, and ang lakas ng ringtone ng WhatsApp ko kasi WhatsApp yung ng boss ko. Pag-send ako ng isang email, babangon ulit ako kahit 2 hours pa lang yung tulog ko para lang mag-send ng email. Na minsan nakakalimutan ko pang i-time track. 5 minutes lang naman.
Or na mag-file ng leave kasi parang feeling mo, it's a sin na wala ka sa trabaho.
Tsaka yung family gathering na for example may dinner ka, magmamadali ka sa lahat ng ganap mo kasi hindi ka pwedeng ma-miss yung para sa kliyente mo. So parang wala pa ng social life para lang ano yung kliyente mo. Na parang ngayon ako nagsabi, girl, I'm running errands, mamaya mo na ako utusan dyan. Parang gano'n. Pwede ka pa lang magsabi ng gano'n. Na dati hindi mo in-expect. It's a G, gising pa ako kahit talagang nakapikit na yung kabila ko. Hindi, gising pa ako, naiintindihan ko yan lahat. Gano'n.
Baka pwede next time. So mag-ano tayo ng session na how to handle difficult conversation. Yeah. Pag may for freelancers.
Totoo yan.
Yo.
Pwede yan.
True. Di ba guys? Yun pa lang yun. Natapos natin yung 3 segments for tonight. And as I said earlier, pasensya na kung hindi namin nasasagot yung mga inquiries niyo in the comment section because we were too engrossed with all the topics surrounding this episode of Community Connect. So we actually had this specific segment para sa mga tanong nyo. So as I said earlier, if you have any questions that you were curious about, our panel of experts will answer it for you. So guys, any questions? Ilapag nyo na ngayon yung mga myth nyo na gusto nyong ipa-debunk sa mga panel natin, sa member of our panels. And they are very much willing to answer or provide insights about your myths. Or malay mo, fiction pala. Or fact. Ayun. Ay, grabe to. Medyo mainit nga tong topic na to. Grabe, mainit to. Mas mainit pa to sa akin. So, the unang statement is diploma or diskarte daw. Charot. With feelings. So, Ate Eloy, ikaw, what do you think about this statement? Diploma or diskarte? Ayun, nawala siya.
Nawala.
Sige, si Ate Jel na lang. Ate Jel, ikaw, diploma or diskarte?
Alam mo, ako when I was studying, naisip ko rin yan, baka diploma nga will take you as far as you can go. Kasi I've known na kapag halimbawa college grad ka, ito yung pwede mo makuhang role. Tapos kapag nag-masters ka, mas mataas. And there are companies, unfortunately, that require a master's or a doctorate degree for you to progress. Pero sa freelancing, that's out of the window, as in, diskarte talaga. Totoo yung sinasabi nila na napakahirap maghanap ng direct client. Kaya may, din sila, may, yun? Si George, tinawag ako ate. So, going back to sinasabi ko, merong part kasi ng freelancing na talagang, kailangan mong maging kailangan mag-stand out sa 100 aplikante para ikaw yung piliin eh. You have to be equipped with a set of skills and experience then for you to be able to do what you have to do. So, yun, diskarte po.
Sa'yo, Darin, for you, diploma or diskarte?
Pwede both. Nandun ako sa or eh. Hindi ko masabing diploma lang or diskarte lang. Kasi kung minsan pangarap mo din magkaroon ng diploma, pero yung iba kasi may specific goal in life na hindi na kailangan ng diploma. Inisip ko din kasi nung undergrad ako, sabi ko, shit, kailangan kong makagraduate para makakuha ng magandang work. Pero nung nag-work na ako, hindi talaga yun eh. Nasa diskarte mo din talaga yun. Pero meron, kung iniisip ko ngayon, kung may diploma ako, yes, may diploma ako, hindi naman niya ako dinala kung saan man. Pero kung dinagdagan ko yung diploma ko ng diskarte, may mapupuntahan ako. Mas malayo pa. So, yun yung take.
Ganda, no?
Grabe yun.
Grabe.
Ayan, nakabalik na si Ate Eloy. Ate Eloy, diploma or diskarte?
Rinig ba ako? Sana kaya.
Yes po.
Yours. We can hear you.
Rinig naman. Diskarte tayo, syempre. Testament naman ako dyan, di ba? Kasi nga, sabi ko nga, hindi ako nakagraduate. 10 taon ako sa college, nakakaya mang aminin, pero totoo po yan. Hindi ako nakatapos ng thesis. Ngayon, ang ginagawa kong thesis, real-time, totoo na, para sa kliyente. Yung problema na ginagawa ko ng solusyon at recommendation. So, diskarte talaga. And siguro ang naging diskarte ko nung nagsisimula ako is talagang nag-focus ako kung ano yung skills ko. Hindi ko ginawang hindrance yung hindi ako nakagraduate. Kasi ginalingan ko talaga. Lahat ng pwede kong aralin, inaral ko. Hindi ako nag-confine dun lang sa 4 corners of the classroom. Maraming ways para matuto, hindi lang sa classroom. So, may YouTube dyan, inaral ko lahat. Magbi-binge watch ako ng mga tools na gusto kong matutunan. Tapos, ako kasi, siguro importante yung self-awareness sa alam mo yung mga kapasidad mo. Ako kasi, I learn by doing. Then, so, experiential yung type ng learning ko. So, ang gagawin ko, kung gusto ko matutunan isang bagay, gagawin ko. Gusto ko matutong mag-business, tasabak ako sa business. Magre-register agad ako sa BIR. So, doon ko talaga siya natututunan through experience, hindi through research, hindi through reflection. So, dapat alam mo yung kakayanan mo. And then, yung discarding gagawin mo is based doon sa, i-leverage mo yung discarding yun, based sa kaya mo. So, yun, nag-work naman. Saka ang diskarte ko, ito yung secret, guys. Siguro din. Parang, isa sa mga ginawa ko. Yung psychology of pricing. Hindi ko alam kung na-share ko na yun before. Pero yun yung naging key sa akin. Kasi may online profiles na ako sa lahat. Upwork, freelance, ano pa yung isa? GoLance. Lahat. Meron pang Clarity FM. Hindi ko na alam. Basta nag-sign up ako sa lahat ng posibleng freelancing website. Wala pa akong Fiverr. So, ang ginawa ko sa Fiverr, ang nilagay kong pricing, sobrang outrageous. Yung parang, yung yabang mo naman, ba't mo nilagay yan? May kukuha ba sa'yo? Parang ganun. Yun yung psychology ng pricing. Kasi tayo, hindi tayo bibili ng tigo 100 na plastic bag kumpara sa Louis Vuitton na tig 1 million, di ba? So, parang yung alam mo sarili mo na you're getting quality for the price. Sobrang taas ng nilagay ko na hindi naman ako nag-expect. Parang testing lang. Kung may mag-book, edi go. Kung hindi, okay lang. May full-time job naman ako. Sobrang nag-click. Kasi usually sa Fiverr, nag-start lang $5. So, dapat ang gagawin ko, $5 dapat ako nag-start. Kasi Fiverr nga eh. Tinaasan ko yung price ko. Kahit na nagsisimula pa lang ako, may nag-book pa isa-isa hanggang dumami yung 5-star reviews ko. Kasi feeling nila, syempre, quality yung marireceive nila kasi mas mataas yung presyo ng service ko. And syempre, sinabayan ko yon ng quality work. Hindi ako naglagay ng ganong rate, pero babasta-basahin ko lang yung trabaho. Alam ko kasi nakaya ko din. At kung ganit man gaano kahirap yan, gagawin ko lahat para ma-deliver yun. So, yun yung mga diskarte, mga secret, mga trade secret na pwede nyong i-apply din sa inyo. Mga discarding proven and tested na.
True. Grabe yun. Unang question pa lang na sa Q&A natin, like pasabog na. Pasabog yarn. Di ba? So, coming from one of our viewers right now, Earl Pia, kanina na-mention din yung pagiging all-rounder ng freelancers. How do you haggle the scope versus the pay sa client? So, coming from our HR consultant, Ate Jel, how do you haggle the scope versus the pay sa clients natin?
Siguro number one na kailangan mong isipin, lalo na sa freelancing, is for you to be able to consider interviews as intake calls. Bakit? Kasi it will also give you the power to ask the right questions. Ano po bang expectations nyo sa akin? What are you looking for in this role? Ano ang mga non-negotiables nyo? Kumbaga para siyang discovery call, kumbaga, no? In dealing with clients. Kasi pag freelance ka, mag-isa ka lang eh. Wala ka man negosyo, wala ka mang virtual champions PH. It's just you. Ikaw, binibenta mo yung skills mo, yung experience mo for that role. So consider that as a discovery call. Now, how do you haggle the scope versus the pay sa client? Nakadepende rin siya sa skills mo. So ako, may time last year na ang ina-applyan ko ay 3. May operations manager, project manager, sa HR. So, bawat isa, may tiering ako, kumbaga, or may rate ako na ibibigay kay company for that. So, yun. Kailangan nyo rin i-assess yung market. You can also research online, magkano na ba hourly ng mga VAs, may sa groups, pwedeng ilabas mo yun na parang, eto po yung ina-applyan ko. Tama po ba or within par din po ba na ina-ask ko na $10 per hour po yung kinukuha ko? Kapag operations manager, okay lang po ba $20 per hour? Yung mga ganon. Tapos, yung type ng haggling kasi, para sa akin is magbigay ka ng range mo na acceptable for you, na alam mo na kapag kinuha yung lowest na hourly, halimbawa, say for example, $15 to $20 per hour, no? Na kahit sabihin ni client na ay 15 lang kasi talaga yung kaya ko, okay lang yon, kaya pa rin yon ma-sustain yung ano mo, yung pangailangan mo everyday. Lalo na naintindihan ko, a couple of people here are breadwinners, mothers, managing their households as well. So dapat yung work na makukuha mo is within within the non-negotiables that you have to. Kasi kung si client may non-negotiables, dapat ikaw din. Pag nag-match yun, good. Kapag hindi, please wag mo naman sanang ilagay yung sarili mo or to set yourself up into something na hindi natin kayang panindigan. So, yun. Yun lang naman.
Grabe yun. And I
Grabe.
thank you. Medyo mga deep yung questions natin, which are actually good. Kasi coming from, I mean, medyo matagal na ako sa freelance, so alam ko na yung how it goes. Pero coming from, I think, someone na walang idea how it really goes sa freelancing or gusto palang mag-jump into as a freelancer, I think these are the foundations that you need to know when applying or making your application sa mga available platforms already. Lalo na kung wala silang kagayang agency na like us, VCPH. So, let me follow up this question. Hold on lang, Sir Tommy, pero I think this should be following up this question about haggling. So, let me just put this up front. Coming from one of our viewers, Lady Anne. Okay lang bang kumuha ng mababang rate for the sake of experience? I've been seeing job posts na $2 per hour and may kumukuha. Ang hirap na i-rate yung sarili mo ng mas mataas if people are willing to lowball themselves. Thanks po and more power. Power. HR.
Grabe naman yung ano na yun, yung question. Ito, juicy to. Sige, ikaw muna.
Dapat mo daw hinagil yung 100. Yung higher rate mo.
Bakit ganun? Para sa akin kasi medyo mahirap siya. Kasi kung alam mo naman yung skills mo and yung capacity, yung quality ng work mo, bakit mo siya ibababa ng $2 for me? Pero kung for the sake of experience, sige, go. Pero for me kung alam mo yung self-worth mo, makakahanap ka ng kliyenteng alam niyang tatapatan niya yung quality of work mo, tatapatan niya yung worth mo. So, keep finding that client kasi nandyan lang yan sa tabi-tabi. So, ayan, go. Ate Jel?
Okay.
Sa akin marami ng, sige ko muna Jel, kasi marami yung sa akin.
Kasi
Lahat yata na experience ko.
order. Ano pa, Eloy? Para sa akin, no, meron kasi talaga ibang papatol, no? Pero kasi, alam mo naman sa sarili mo na hindi na yun yung rate mo. Yun yung number one thing na kailangan mong i-consider. Kasi, etong mga to, most likely, ito yung mga nagta-try out pala, mga first-timers pa lang. Pero, I think at some level, alam din nila na pang-umpisa lang to, just to put yourself out there, get some more experience and all that. Pero kung ikaw, halimbawaan, kung $50 per hour ka na, okay lang na stick to your rate. Okay lang yan. Yan. Sige, Eloy, go.
Okay, marami kasing instances or milestones or stages sa buhay ko yung mga nangyari na ganyan, no, naghagil ako sa rate. Unang-una, tumanggap po ako ng audio transcription ng $7. $7, hindi masama. Pero isang oras na audio yon. So, yung isang oras na audio, gagawin mo yun ng 6 na oras. So, pumatak ako ng less than 2 pa yun. 1 point something pa yung hour.
1 point something.
Pero kasi nagsisimula ako noon, wala pa akong alam ng benchmark kung gaano katagal gawin ng audio. So for the sake of experience, nagawa ko din po yan. Tinanggap ko yung for the sake of 5-star review sa Upwork. Okay? So for the sake of experience, for the sake of 5-star review. Meron din point sa buhay ko na sabi ko sa sarili ko, hindi na ako tatanggap ng less than 10. Kasi skilled na naman ako, nag-handle na ako ng tao, nag-set up na ako ng systems, operations manager yung pinapasukan kong trabaho noon. Pero kasi I'm a vibe person eh. Pag nagkikipag-usap ako sa kliyente, bina-vibe check ko din sa sila kung ano silang klase ng tao. Kung okay ba silang katrabaho, kung okay ba silang human being, at least. So itong boss ko na to, tinanggap ko yung less than 10. Binigyan niya sa akin 8. Kasi andun yung naramdaman ko na kailangan niya ng tulong. Pero sinat ko ng boundary. Sabi ko, after 1 year, i-revisit natin. Pero kung dumating yung point na sasabihan ka ng kliyente mo, bakit ka mag-charge ng ganyan? Taga-Pilipinas ka, may nakukuha nga ako na $2, $3. Pag ginanon ka, bagsak na sa vibe check yun. So yun din yung same instances. Kaya nag-quit ako doon after a year. Kasi sabi niya, ito lang yung kaya kong ibigay. Sabi niya, ito lang yung worth mo. I was hoping na ma-increase na siya sa 15 kasi talaga nag-progress naman ako sa role after the 1 year. Sabi niya, hindi, ito lang yung, based on what you can do, ito lang yung rate mo. May nagbabayad na sa akin ng $20, hindi niya alam, may side hustle lang. May nagbabayad na sa akin ng $20. So parang, maintindihan ko pa kung sinabi niya na, medyo mababa pa kasi yung profitability natin, baka pwedeng, ito lang muna yung may dagdag ko. Matatanggap ko pa yun. Kasi I value relationship more than the monetary. Kasi alam niyo yan, tumatanggap ako ng project na non-profit organization, relatively lower ang rate. Tumatanggap tayo ng projects na exchange of service, walang bayad, di ba? Kasi gusto rin natin tulungan yung ibang mga startups. Kasi ganun din naman ako, sabi ko nga, hindi naman ako darating sa point na to kung wala niyong naniwala sa akin or nagbigay ng opportunities, nag-take ng chance sa akin nung nagsisimula ako. Kaya I'm willing to take chances on people na nagsisimula. I'm willing to take chances on clients din na nagsisimula. So, it's not always about money. Pero siguro medyo privileged ako kasi kaya kong gawin yon, guys. Okay, ito rin recently lang, very fresh, last week nangyari. Merong project. Nagawa ko ng proposal. Ngayon, inanuhan na ako, sinike na ako ni client, sabi niya, can you please create a proposal? Pero meron na kaming nakuha na quote sa freelancer na 600 to 800 ang value ng buong project. So, in-assess ko yung project, ginadaan ko yung proposal, customized, tulong ni ChatGPT din. Pero customized. Nilagay ko yung proposal, sinagot ko punto por punto lahat ng requirements, anong strategy, anong time estimate. So sabi ko, at the end, na-realize ko na sabi ko, it's not worth it kung 600 to 800 kasi ang tansya ko, mga $2,000
ang value ng project kasi medyo comprehensive, madaming gagawin. So, ang sinabi ko na lang kay client, sinend ko pa rin sa kanya. Sabi ko, so unfortunately, so based on my analysis, sabi ko, unfortunately, hindi ko po kayang mag-compete. Nilost ko na nga siya eh. Hindi ko na siya inano sa nurture or follow-up. Nilagay ko na siya sa lost kasi hindi na ako willing ilaban yung project. Kasi sasakit lang ulo ko. Hindi worth it ng effort, di ba? So sabi ko, unfortunately po, hindi ko po kayang mag-compete. Good deal na po yun, yung 600 to 800. Kunin nyo na po yun. Yun pa yung sinabi ko. Kasi totoo naman, good deal na yun kung same quality lang. Sabi ko nga, pwede mo pang gamitin yung nilagay ko sa proposal ko. I hope na makatulong yung mga insights ko. Yun ang sinabi ko. Sabi niya, o sige. Sabi ng boss ko, pwede ko itong ma-approve, pero pwede bang ganitong So, nagano siya. Meron naman pala siyang budget. Gusto lang niya baka naman daw po kumagat ako dun sa sinet niya na boundary. So, pwedeng ganun. Kung alam mo talaga yung value mo, stand firm. Say no. And then magugulat ka. Siguro, baka sakali maging maswerte ka katulad ko na nakita kasi ni client na talagang marunong ako. Pinakita ko sa proposal. Hindi ako lang, putyo-putyo. Kaya ganun ako mag-rate. So, yun din. Isa pa ring diskarte na ginawa ko. So, 3 scenario yun. Pwedeng i-apply in different instances or different scenarios. Iba-iba yung outcome.
So, yun. Thank you, guys. Grabe yun. Magsa-start pa lang kayo ng freelancing, magaling na kayo maghagil. Yan yung yan yung input for tonight. Parang ganon. Kasi dati ako din nag-start $3. Ngayon, hindi na mag-start sa 3. 7 agad. Kung alam mo yung skills mo. Pero actually, marami na din kasi talaga. Like, feeling ko dati kasi, given na hindi ganon ka-rampant yung freelancing, nakikita pa rin nila yung Filipinos in a scheme na, okay, it's okay to have the $3 kasi magkano lang naman yung minimum wage dito. So, lagi nilang nakikita. Hindi na nakikita yung skill set or binavalue yung skill set na available sa employee as freelancers. So anyway, moving on, I think tama to si Tommy. Last question na din talaga to kasi we're over the time for tonight. Anyway, the last question would be, referencing for per hour pay. Would you rather hire someone who works faster pero yung quality is like medium lang, or someone who works slow but solid outputs? PS, this applies to all niche. So, sino po ang gustong mauna sa ating panel?
Medyo malaking puzzle itong binigay mo sa amin,
Oo nga eh.
Medyo masakit sa ulo yun, Mi.
Oo, pwede balikan kita.
Sige, sa next na lang.
Tapos balikan kita.
Sa next community connect na lang po.
First tayo na ganito. Nangyayari to in real life. Hindi lahat pare-pareho ng velocity. Hindi lahat pare-pareho ng speed. Hindi lahat pare-pareho ng quality. So, anong rule of thumb? Ako kasi, Tommy, nag-hire ako based on character. Mas importante ang character. Kasi po, skills. Kayang gawa ng paraan yan eh. Speed, kayang improve yan eh. Quality, kayang improve yan. Pero po yung character, kung yun ka na, buong buhay mo, quarter years of your life, ganun ka na, ang hirap na mong i-break ng habits. Unless it's like, parang talagang radical change na biglang transformation, metamorphosis. Yun po. I think yun yung sagot ko. Pang Miss Universe yung sagot. Pero totoo, nangyayari yun. Character una. Pangalawa na lang yung skills.
Actually, reflects a lot on our hiring din sa VC. No? Ang ina-assess namin is actually yung core values ni VC. Hindi ko na enumerate kasi baka mapahiya ako kasi kulang yung masabi ko.
Baka mali pala.
So, na lang po marketing team ng core values ni VC sa social media sites po natin. Maraming salamat. So, yun po. Character talaga is a non-negotiable kasi para sa akin, naniniwala ako dun sa great output comes from great relationship. So, kung maganda yung collaboration, yung professional relationship, kumbaga, ng mga tao, maging difficult man or maging madali yung usapan, kaya siyang gawa ng paraan. Para sa akin yun malaking bagay yun sa akin. Tingin ko evident dyan yung mga conversations namin ni Eloy kapag nag-one-on-one kami. Naku, kung alam nyo lang talaga. So, yun. Character, non-negotiable. Yan. Ikaw may opinion ka ba dito? O next community connect?
Pwedeng next community connect. Charis, sa akin ba, siguro yung willing na mag-produce ng quality work, yun na lang siguro. Kung as a business, kung as a business owner, mas gusto ko yung willing siyang gawin lahat to provide that quality work na hinahanap mo.
Yun. Pero ang gandang nito kasi baka hindi ako makatulog dahil dito. Kung ano ba yung ano.
Parang pag-uusapan natin to after.
Feeling ko.
Medyo
yung speed, are sound faster, pero quality is like medium lang. Depende. Baka naman kasi siya, yung rate. Magkakatalo sa rate yan eh. Pareho lang ba?
May nakita ko sa comment section.
Pero pumayag naman na, baka naman sabihin niya, medyo mabagal po ako, pero willing po ako na babaan niyo. Baka naman ganun. Walang problema. Diba? Saka depende rin sa deadline ng project. Baka bukas na.
Tama nga po. Yan yung nakita ko sa bukas na po pala, pero kaya mo 1 week.
Depende.
Pwede rin, may kilala kasi ako, talagang mabagal yung turnaround time, pero grabe, ganda talaga. Oo.
Sorry.
Quality.
So, to the company din naman talaga, kung syempre si client pa rin naman yung decision maker kung anong gusto nila doon. Pero, alam mo yun, just put forward those people na tingin mo ay kayang gawin yung ginagawa nila. Yun.
Saka depende ito sa type ng trabaho kung anong project to Kasi minsan kailangan mo minimum MVP lang. Minimum muna, minimum viable product. Saka mo na pagandahin after. So baka pag ganyan, milestone, dun ka sa mabilis kung mabilisan din yung release ng MVP. Diba? So depende, case to case. Pero character pa rin. And I thank you. Yun yung pang universe na sagot.
Yan na. Okay.
And feeling ko din, dito napasok yung benchmarking during like training. Na kaya kayo nagbe-benchmark, okay, how normally would it take her or him to do this specific task? And then moving forward naman, kapag ganun mo na kagamay yung specific task na gusto ng client, it's gonna be easy for you to do it moving forward. Pero the skill set and syempre the character itself na kayang tapusin talaga, na ipupush through kahit na, ano mo yun, hindi pa ganun ka, just relearning the skill set itself. Need talaga yun as a new hire for like a client.
Ito si Tommy talaga pinag-isip pa ako eh.
Last na. Puro
papasok yung, baka wala diyan papasok yung diskarte din. Kung ikaw yung lead ng project. Diba? Kung paano may scope yung timeline ng project kay client, depende dun sa available na workforce mo. I-adjust mo kung alam mo at kilala mo yung mga tao, ito mabagal, ito mabilis. O dun sa mabagal, i-adjust mo yung timeline ng project at expectation kay client. Doon naman sa mabilis, mag-set ka ng time for QA. Na medium lang yung quality. Mag-set ka ng time for QA din. So yun, papasok sa diskarte mo as a project lead, as the leader. Ayan.
Siguro yung sa akin lang parang natutunan ko to recently kasi nag-hire ako ng music producers. Yung benchmarking, it happens during the interviews too. How long can you produce a track in a day? Or kapag isang track, ilang araw or ilang oras talaga yung kailangan mo for that. So, pwede mo rin siyang maaral doon sa conversations mo kasi sila yung experts sila yung magsasabi sa'yo na medyo malabo to. Gusto nila 2 hours may remix na maganda, malabo yun. So yun lang naman. And then minsan yung benchmark din, malalaman mo internally within the company na kailangan ng turnaround time pala ni video editor ay 4 hours, ni graphic designer 1 oras. So itatapat mo siya sa hiring. Halimbawa, tanongin mo yung taong to, yung mga output mo, time spent, ilan, effort mo, anong klaseng effort ang ginagawa mo for that, yun, mamamatch mo.
Ito si Tommy, yayain natin sa inuman, mukhang marami itong palaisip. Mga bugtong, maraming papasagot na bugtong. Pero kung ako talaga papipiliin mo, Tommy, isa lang dun sa dalawa, dun ako sa quality. Kasi nga, tulad ng education ko, quality takes time. Maintindihan ni client yun. So yun, kung ako yung papipiliin, dun ako sa quality.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yan. So guys, thank you so much for your questions. Yun na po ang ating last question because we're over 1.5 hours sa Community Connect. 1 hour lang talaga yung nakabid namin sa project proposal nito. So, pero guys, we thank you so much for joining us and it was a pleasure learning from our expert of panels. Yan, thank you po Ate Eloy, Ate Jel, Daryl, thank you Batch sa pag-attend. Salamat sa pagbigay ng time sa
Thank you,
amin and marami
everybody.
kaming natutunan. Yan. Sa uulitin po. Sa
Alright.
uulitin po.
Thank you,
Salamat.
Rose.
Salamat po.
Thank you po.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. And guys, before we end this episode of Community Connect, we would like to express our gratitude to our viewers who stayed with us until the end of the program. So, and to show our deepest appreciation, ganon ka-deep, we have a raffle for you. So, kindly scan the code that you can see on your screens right now. Fill out the form to join. And we will be announcing the winners in the ClickUp Virtual Assistants Facebook group. So please don't forget to join. So 16 viewers nating remaining as of this end of the Community Connect episode. May raffle tayo. Again, we will be posting the winners in the ClickUp Virtual Assistants Facebook group. So if you haven't joined that specific Facebook group yet, maybe it's about time for you to join. Click on that join button right now and check if you will be the grand winner for tonight's raffle of this episode of Community Connect. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope to see you more in our future Community Connect episodes, and we will be posting our updates on our social media accounts. Also, guys, please don't forget to subscribe and follow us in all our social media accounts. So all updates regarding our future Community Connects, hiring, news, and many more are available in all our social media platforms. So do follow us to get the first dibs out of all our offers. So again, guys, thank you for joining this episode of Community Connect, and we hope to see you again. Have a great night and have a great weekend. Bye.